Today is a day when we talk about Alma releases and Primo releases. I mean, they're kind of concurrent throughout the year. This is a document that was created by the Primo Release test standing group of Orbis Cascade. Now, this is was created back when it was Primo back office, and you had a Primo sandbox, and it is only really kind of like the Primo side of things. But I thought it would be great to take this and use it to create a checklist on like the Alma side of things as well, that might be a little more, what's the word, like flexible based on like what the major release, what area it happened in. But this one's kind of a good one to think about, how you have different parts of your customization set up. And if there are Alma releases that add features that would affect these things, then you're kind of getting to tie that together in your head, I guess, is the way I think about it. So I copied this, so this is in just the Whack to Click drive for now, and I will make it more well, I'll make it shareable right now, and I will share the link so you guys can get in here and make some notes, and then we can kind of go through it and maybe apply it based on the latest release stuff. So what it does is it kind of goes through the levels of customization. And so you're starting out relatively simply in checking function. So looking at your simple search, let me do a little this. Hold on. So you're looking at your simple search, and you probably have search terms that you use to like check on things. I kind of just always do dental hygiene. I don't know why. So going in and doing your basic search term and seeing whether or not results have changed, or if something is not in like showing up that used to show up, then going in and checking advanced search and checking your facets here, looking at material type, because we know, what was it, was it the July release or last March's release? They actually added material types. Looking at the browse function, the course reserves, so we can I don't think there is any. Yeah, I was like, there's probably not anything. Checking that your get it, view it details in your, hold on, I'm gonna go back to this. when you open up a record, there we go. Are your sections showing up the way you expect? Are the citations showing up? We know that there are some errors in the latest APA citation. So some libraries have chosen to keep the not as recent edition of APA. But when they rolled it out, it was default to switch it from the 6th edition to the 7th. Is that right? 6th to 7th, 5th to 6th. And so, you know, making sure that that was working was the only way that many of us found out that it was in fact not accurate. And I keep meaning to check back and see if they've kind of fixed that. Copying a permalink and testing it is another one that they suggest for 3 different main material types. Within advanced search, I kind of already touched on material types, but also languages is one that they update and add languages to the interface. And so it's good to keep an eye. Wow, Catalan. I did not know that was one they were including. Now here's the one that it will, this is obviously, this section here is for the Alliance. But we often get broken image links or like strange item icons. And Primo updates can unfortunately break some of that customization. So one of the things that I would love to do in a Primo meeting is like explore all of those icons. I'm gonna get rid of that. The other day, Bellingham had a weird glitch where they went to their Primo homepage and it like had defaulted to like this super like just generic info underneath, and it was really weird. And I don't know that I was trying to figure it out, and then all of a sudden it was just fine again. So like that was weird. Obviously we don't need consortium package stuff. There we go. If you have authentication set up to sign into your account after a Primo update, oh, I gotta show. I thought it was Tracy. You were like, "Hey, our Primo page is being weird. Can you look at it?" And then I like did some stuff. Is it not you? Anyway, Primo updates based on just how much coding goes into directing. Well, now I don't know who it was. Okay, well, I'll just think on that for a while. There's a lot of coding that goes into correctly directing logins to the right page and getting the systems to interact. And so small changes in Primo URLs. I don't think it was Pierce. Well, now I'm gonna like, hold on. It would be in my resolve tickets. And I might even have a screenshot of what it did. It was really weird.
Sorry, I missed some of that. Pierce had the problem where we'd go in and it'd tell us to that we need to log out from a different system. And even when we did that, it still would not let us in.
Yeah, no, this was just that yeah, it was November 1st, BTC Primo customization. And when we went uh, um
I remember, Carly, it's when for some reason our Primo landing page had defaulted back to our customizations were gone
yeah,
and then they just appeared again.
yeah, so like all of this bottom part had just disappeared and gone back to like the the
Default.
the default thing. Yeah, and we couldn't figure out why. Like I downloaded the customization package. Um, and it's not like it had anything to do with an update, I don't think. Although it was on November 1st. Anyway, now that we've completely diverged. But checking this page, checking that you can sign in, any of the features that you have active in Primo, um, that they're working, uh, that requests are working. If you have that set up, we don't have some requesting. Um, so this is their like kind of very base Orbis Cascades basic cert checklist, but they also have this worksheet. Oh, dang it. I do have access. I just have to go through a different thing. Um, so I'll find it. Um, da, 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 da. Um, yeah, so they do have a worksheet as well where you can like check it off every time. But I was thinking that we could kind of take this and add to it. So instead of just saying like try all types of searches, say more specifically using multiple search terms, and then give some examples from ones that we use, because we know like, okay, well, if I do this one, like if you do dental hygiene, some schools are going to have the um the like searching enabled. I can't remember what it's called. And pick up something like oral hygiene. Some of you don't have that enabled, like testing misspellings, testing, very specific titles, um, that kind of stuff, and really put some details into this, so you could almost like you could hand it off to a student. Um, so yeah, and then if you knew exactly like, oh, this is what I'm doing this time, and you have your own with maybe even a screenshot of like, this is what it's supposed to look like, a release comes out, you do the search and you're like, that doesn't look the same, and you can actually compare. So yeah, but um yeah, so you like, who's got good search terms. I'm gonna put like some is misspellings two S's? Who's got good search terms? Yeah. And it's good to kind of do a really general one. That's funny. Sometimes I'll do like very jargony ones. Sunshine and vitamin D. Um, well, and it's really good to also check things that students might incorrectly be searching for in the catalog. So like ProQuest or JSTOR. Because if you do have it linked to um, your A to Z list or your libguides, and you know that something should be, coming up when that kind of search happens, I'm gonna like totally mess up all of Big Ben's search stats. Yeah, and okay, and some of the things to look for, look for changes in the like number of results. Like if all of a sudden it's way fewer than you would expect. Number of results, ordering of items that might indicate that, Primo has changed some kind of indexing on the backside. Look for, availability of the facets, depending on the search, which is kind of part of search results. So leading into, this is in like wait, I think I'm going to like item records really. And we could say uh, a big one is checking that the display here is still formatting the way that you expect, and that they haven't like changed some mapping on, you know, where they're getting publisher information, or if they've added a resource type and suddenly something is coming up with the incorrect resource type. Um, and really advanced search, let's actually put that up here, because doing actually and in your simple search, you know, like is it is the default search profile the one that you're used to? Is the placeholder text still customized? And placeholder text is when you go to simple search and there's nothing in here, you know, like is that still showing up saying what it wants what you want it to say? Are your search profiles still what you expect them to be? So default search profile, placeholder text, in advanced are the material types, languages, other options. I've never been a fan of browse, and it doesn't really go in, I don't think it goes there really. It goes in item record, in my opinion. We'll just put it in the middle. So inside item record, what I'm going to add send to. Ooh. Aren't really tabs. That's real old. Um, um, looking at, you know, full text availability for e-resources. And whether those links work. Yeah, so this is, I mean, this is a pretty basic, no, we don't need production because everything is production. this is a pretty basic list. And I think that if you added screenshots of your own library's interfaces and examples of your own search terms and, like top 5 results or something, this is very easily something that can be delegated to students, and I think is a great learning opportunity for them to be able to identify those kinds of details and think about what they're looking at and not just take it for granted. Um, but now, as far as for Alma, so like one of the things I was thinking, so this would be like in the sandbox because the new releases get released to the sandbox ahead of time. And if we had kind of a team that went in with different ones of the training accounts, so like one person with just like circ, basic permissions, one person go in with cataloging permissions, um, and basically kind of check functionality for the things that those positions do, and really focus on users in roles that may not have, like, they may not know that a release just came out, but all of a sudden something looks really different for them. So that we can then get that information out to our frontline staff, or make customization changes as necessary. Like if you don't want to roll out the new UI right away, you want to give people a chance to test it, and let them figure it out. But yeah, what like roles do you all kind of see as the like pertinent frontline ones that we would want to go in with those kinds of training accounts and check? Um, let me go into, so we've got these like context is acquisitions or circulation for one of the libraries. So that's probably one, like the main library circ. Um, and there are not everyone uses acquisitions, but those of you that do, like probably having an acquisitions specialist use, I don't know what else to call it. I feel like anything that's at the management level, like more likely to have knowledge that a release was coming. Something in fulfillment. Cataloging. Um, yeah, do you guys have part-time or student staff that would have um any other um roles in Alma that we would want to be reviewing on a new release? And I don't know, like I'll have to figure out the actual. Tired morning, very rainy out.
Carly,
Mm-hmm.
we do have part-time staff that do journal check-ins, and
Mm.
we also in the past have had them work on holdings and item records, like adding item records. Um, it's been a while since we're kind of in a
Yeah, you're in a spot right
we're
now. Um,
we're out in the middle of nowhere right now, so we're not even in our library, but so things are hiatus, but those are a couple of things that we've had for part-time staff do.
uh, yeah, those are some good ones because yeah, receiving journals. Yeah, so these are some of the things I think so like yeah, picking specific roles and permissions and then having test user accounts in our sandboxes and then just like having if the release pertains to like the work in these roles, then we know exactly like, okay, we're going to log in with this role um, and, you know, see how things look different. Um, I think that's a really great start. Now there was a release. It's a bug release. It's one of the, you know, just the basic ones. But we can go in and just look really quickly back at um, whether or not there's anything we want to take a look at this morning. I don't think they've put out, I've been looking for the 2024 roadmap, and there's nothing specific out yet that I have seen for what the feature releases um, are really going to be. So yeah, more analytics documentation, catalogers. What's the impact of this?
I have a question. Is anybody actually using BIBFRAME? Because I'm not. And I'm a little concerned about the move toward that doing that transfer. I don't even know what the implications are. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm in the dark about it. And I know I've seen a lot of discussions on my various listservs, but I'm kind of like la 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 pretending BIBFRAME exists.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. link data editor. So, I mean, if someone's doing a bunch of link data stuff, but I doubt that that's our bandwidth threshold right now. Concurrent API request threshold was increased. I can tell you from popping into your dev environments that no one is doing a huge amount of API requests. Translation search in certain code tables. Feels like it's impossible to ever find which code table they're actually applying these to. Service authentication note and service public note added to the e-inventory analytics area. So if you have a public note in your stuff and you want to find out what e-resources have public notes and what they say, that is a great one. That's very cool. And bibliographic rank field added to the bibliographic details dimension in every subject area where bib details is, which is quite a few of them. And it displays the number that signifies the value of the bibliographic data. Oh, is that one of the things that they're doing with the ranking? Like they're doing with the e-resources and the like quality of the records. Looks like quite a few acquisitions things. Yeah, if it's a Alma thing, it can be tested in the sandbox. So the BIBFRAME, is that what you're referring to, Tracy?
Yes, that's correct.
So publishing profile, we could, like do a test, you mean? See what it does?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Publishing MARC records converted to BibFrame. Decide whether to include Alma URI. Intention is to republish to Alma. Recommended to publish without. Okay, so we're doing publishing profiles. I'm going to search because I never know where that stuff is. So add profile. So profile name, publish MARC to BitFrame. Active, not scheduled. See if there's a set that I can even use in the sandbox. Well, of course there is, because we've been using it. I think I want in all titles, don't I? Okay. And then what does it say? Okay. Publish on bibliographic, output format. BIBFRAME. I have no idea. Let's see what it says. Published currently only. Okay, that's what. Okay, so if you're doing linked data work, FTP and Ex Libris Secure FTP, include all records, XML, default file name prefix. Correct the data using normalization process. Nah. Okay, we won't do any of that then. Okay, so we have this. It's not scheduled. So we can run. Okay, and then it would show up in the Ex Libris FTP. Here's a bonus little instruction. So when I look at your SIS loads, a lot of times almost everybody goes through the Ex Libris FTP. And so Wade had the keys for those and provided them to your IT for connecting to that. And so what I do is I use FileZilla, which is an FTP, SFTP connection client. And I have, okay, it's opening over here. And I have a lot of people's. But if we go to Site Manager, we can set up a new site, and it will be, actually, I can't rename it. You have to do it right when you do it. And the host is that, and the port is this, and the logon type is key file, and the user is that. And then we're gonna regenerate the private key because nobody has it. So don't ever click this button here, this regenerate private key, because that key is specific, and it is loaded into like your IT's PowerShell script to deliver your SIS load. And I have it saved in order to like get in to your server and check those files. So it's not something that you want to reset, because honestly, your current IT might not actually know where they have it saved, or how many of their systems need it. So yeah, don't do it. All right, so it has downloaded, so it's gonna sit there. So I'll have to redo this later because I'll save it to the right place. But I'll pull it from downloads right now. What? Where did you go? Yep, it's there. This is what it just says ID RSA. And since you're not gonna like it from downloads, just move it. I forgot an important step, and that's why I didn't want to find it. So a key file has to be created from the key using a putty tool. And putty gen, open, and we're gonna load. See if I can remember how to do this. It's been a while. Okay, so no, we don't have one. We need to okay. Great, cool. Okay. Maybe that's not what it was. There we go. Import key. Aren't you glad you don't have to deal with all of this? Things I absolutely did not know before I took this job, and that I had to learn last November. Okay, so we imported that. We've got a key, fingerprint, and comment. We're gonna save the private key. Yes, yes, too complicated. And we're gonna call this okay. Now, when we go to FileZilla, we look for the key file. And let's see if I did this right. Boom. Yeah, so this is there. That's it. And here's our BIBFRAME. And so then this downloaded, and whatever it is that, okay, so it's an XML file. So we can see what it looks like. Oh, heavens. Yeah, no idea.
Would you need to use something like MARC Edit?
Probably, which I don't have.
Can you forward that file to me? I just, out of curiosity, I just want to see
Yeah.
if I open it up in MARC Edit, what happens. I might get the same gobbledygook.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'll do that after we're done, because trying to navigate.
It does not have to be now. Just later today is fine. I just want to play.
Yeah. So anyway, Alma releases, Primo releases. I will share that kind of checklist, and so that when we have big feature releases, we can get together and test those things. And as soon as they actually put out the 2024 roadmap, and tell us when there will be major feature releases, maybe we can even like plan bigger, different meetings around that. So, yeah, that's, that was what I was hoping to cover today. Oh, do they have it up? Yeah, this will be where it is. Okay, here we go. Feature release in February. Semi-annual reindexing. Feature release in May. But what will the features be? Because if you go to the roadmap, see if we're in the right. Yeah, does it? Yeah, okay. So so they've started to get some of the 2024 stuff in for the different areas. So if you work in an area and you want to know what might be coming, analytics, it's all here under Alma roadmaps highlights. We're not done. Yeah, see, it's real simple, like what's it really gonna simplify? Great. So, yeah, it doesn't really tell you a lot what it's gonna mean. And yes, they have been talking about getting Taylor and Francis journals and Sage for years, and I'm pretty sure they just moved it forward into 2024, but I think it used to be in 2023. So I didn't share my screen and you all just looked at me read stuff. But Alma roadmap highlights, and then by area, you can go in and see sometimes specific, sometimes less specific details of what's coming. So, thanks all for sticking with today's diverging and meandering path about Alma releases. I'll send that file to you, Elena, and Maybe down the road, we can have a larger kind of hypothetical think session on BIBFRAME and link data. It is certainly a trending topic. So, all right, well, have a good rest of your week, everybody, and I will see you all later.